Misegadis screwed up real bad. Real bad. I had to a little bit. It's obviously not smart of me to do that in a hot car with the door closed. That can kill you quick. I need to show my evidence. I need to get these predators off the streets. They can't harm my friends, my family, my loved ones. Whether you believe I should be allowed to love people or not is arbitrary. Kind of like what these people do to try to discredit me. They committed felonies. Same felonies that they commit against nearly every homeless person. It's a fucking felony. It's a felony. It's a felony. It's a felony. What the cops did were well and truly entrenched and, in their minds, necessary felonies. People saw with what ease these officers were allowed to walk over my human rights, and they did absolutely nothing. They just let it happen. Those officers later on to commit many more crimes, didn't they? That's right, they did. Including Whale and Lolatai. Someone calling himself Michael Scott Wade typed hello again. Hello. I don't remember the name of the video here. That's one of the problems with trying to record these. Especially when I'm exhausted and tired and overwhelmed and thinking about a lot of other things at once. The abuse that I've been enduring, you know what? When people told me that they were being abused in that way, the first thing I did was to try to encourage them to go to the police and tell them that I would go with them. The more the merrier. The more people go down all at once, the better off we'll be. These judges need to be held accountable for the victimization of the homeless and the disabled. These judges were informed of what? My predators, literally the officers that I was trying to turn in, got to dictate every part of this. Scott DaCosta has gotten to dictate all of this by leading people on to believe that I am schizophrenic. And outright lying to discredit me to get away with his crimes, and these things are blatant. Look up the name Zach Richmond. There's a phone call with him. You should listen to it. I'm exhausted. Thank goodness I do have some food. Thank goodness I do have some water. Don't stick your fingers in your eyeballs after getting them all filthy, digging through your stuff in a nasty vehicle, because it's going to burn like a motherfucker. People didn't want to take this seriously. People who claimed to love me, claimed that they cared, claimed that they were going to help, and then they didn't, and they didn't, and they didn't, and they didn't, and they didn't. They took their dear sweet fucking time because they were busy doing drugs. Or selling drugs. Or playing video games. On their phone or otherwise. Alright, this person calling himself Michael Scott Wade is telling me he loves me. Please don't do that. If you speak out, I might believe you care. If you were to make calls with me to turn in these crimes, I might believe you care, but please don't tell me you love me. That denotes something to me that is entirely different. For me, loving somebody is not a sex thing. It never has been. Matter of fact, if there's sex involved, I have a hard time believing it is love. I know that people get lustful. And I'm not coming at you on a religious approach, because that ain't what this is. It's inequality. It's inequality. The disabled don't have rights, you just pretend that they do. The homeless don't have rights, you just pretend that they do. Male victims don't have rights, you just pretend that they do. But then you pretend they don't exist. You got the Me Too movement. I am all for women's rights. I am not for shaming other victims. I am not for shaming an entire gender. I am not okay with sexism. You guys can go through my channel and find stuff where it sounds like I'm sexist. Well, you should listen to the whole thing instead of trying to take it out of context. I explain I don't actually believe that shit, but I have to be equal. Oh, Sean, you're a terrible, horrible woman hater. No, I'm not a woman hater at all. I'm tired of being victimized by man haters. There's a big fucking difference. I'm trying to give man haters a taste of their own medicine. Hey, stop victimizing me. Stop telling me that I can't be a victim because of my gender. Stop doing everything that you can to destroy evidence. Who is it that's working hard to destroy evidence? The women. The men who have their stuff up, only about half of them have tried to have it taken down, and none of them have been successful. I watch my P's and Q's. I got several hundred privacy violation complaints on YouTube that are not privacy violation complaints. I checked the local laws before I did these things. I know what I did that was criminal and what I did that wasn't criminal. Also, I admitted to that shit, so, it kind of makes it difficult for you guys to claim that I don't take responsibility for my own shit. You're goddamn right I did. Who the fuck do you think turned me in? Who the fuck do you think turned me in? I did. Fucking Christ. When I had to find an inventive way to do it because the cops wouldn't listen to me, well, shit, I did what was necessary. I gave my predators what they wanted so that they would turn it in. So that I would get a day in court, because with all these people who were claiming they were going to help me, and they just kept on with the video games or the arguing or the drugs or the alcohol. Miss Peaches and Raj, you weren't horrible towards me. I mean, they did snap at me. Anytime that I tried to, we actually got to the point where I could actually speak up, well, then I'm getting snapped at. For almost an entire year before Natalie was killed, I had been going to Miss Peaches, and she had, instead of trying to help me, had told me if I come over, bring cigarettes or weed, and she'll help me. And I went over there, and she didn't help me. Maybe they expected that as payment. I know that when I gave them cigarettes, I gave them full packs. I know that when I brought weed over there, it was for sharing. When people say they're going to help you, they say they're going to listen, and then you get there and they treat you like that. You know, it sucks. Miss Peaches wants to blame all the stuff that happened December 2016. That's over a year before Natalie was killed. She wants to blame all of that on A-Bear. A-Bear was not the only one who was a piece of shit to me that night. Peaches was drinking, but she was listening. Or so I thought, until A-Bear woke up and he started being a dick to me and wouldn't fucking mind his own business and stop fucking hounding me and badgering me. How about instead of hounding and badgering me over your goddamn opinions, how about A-Bear, you see your fucking ass out of the conversation? But he didn't. So then Miss Peaches is starting to feel her alcohol at that point, and it just made life hell. Or let me see. Michael Scott Wade type, that's why I'm here in your stream. Love can mean in many different ways, Sean. Look, I am a dad of 3 children. I take care of all of them. I always let them know I love them. Weed is bad for you, Sean. Trust me, I've been down that road before in my life. Read my messages, Sean. Ah, now you're getting bossy. This isn't weed. This is tobacco, and it's bad for me, too. See this? It's got no tobacco in it. There's a reason it doesn't have any tobacco in it. It goes in my tobacco pipe. I made it out of a straw. Yeehaw. I'm aware that smoking weed is bad for anybody. Smoking anything is bad for anybody. You're putting carbon deposits in your friggin' lungs. Kind of like them nut jobs who say you can't get cancer if you smoke pot. Well, guess what? The president of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws in Colorado, well, a previous one, is Jeff Mitchell. That's the father of Megan Mitchell, and he died of lung cancer. What is normal? National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Anyway, my email address is doggedroman@gmail.com. If you send me a message there and you're actually interested in helping and you do genuinely want to make a difference, what I need help with is turning in these crimes, having someone to make the calls with me. And as far as disability and all that goes, like, I'm going to need help with that too. But I gotta work on both, and I've got some people who are hopefully going to be helping with the disability stuff. That's probably what I should focus on first if I can get somebody to make the calls with me today. But it's Saturday, so I'm stuck waiting until Monday. A lot of the other stuff, it doesn't matter that it's weekend. Someone can call. Somebody call in with me. Someone can look at the evidence and turn in a little bit of it at a time with me. They can verify that I'm telling the truth. and that the situation needs to be taken seriously. I can also have them watch a mandated reporter video. It's about 11 minutes long. Hello. Ain't I see you at Starbucks?
Nah, you ain't see me at Starbucks.
Alright.
Have a good day, man.
I'm at least going to pretend to, but I know you guys are going to have a great one.
I appreciate that.
Oh, what did I do? It says, oh hell, I don't know what's going on here now. I apparently pressed the wrong button. Alright, let's see what, oh. I don't know what's going on there. Apparently it's not working right. Alright, there's some messages. It says read my messages again. Or read my messages, Sean. And then there's two things that I can't see. And then it says, and guess what, with a question mark. I don't know what those things are. I don't know if it's downloading something or what. Maybe if I reposition my phone. What are those supposed to be? Are they pictures of something? YouTube is deleting my messages. Ah. Why? Were you threatening to kill me or something? Were you threatening to harm my family? It might just be cursing. I don't know. I'm not sure what criteria it takes for that. It says, I can't talk about women. You can't talk about them at all? What's that about? I got no problems talking to another human being. If they got expectations at any point or anywhere in there about sex, then I'm automatically afraid of them. So I'm afraid of all women, every single one of them. But there's a different kind of fear. There's the fear of you're aware that they could do that and get away with doing those harmful, evil things at any point in time. And then there's also the fear that you have when you've been through it or still going through it. It's pretty scary for me. Talking to women is absolutely not a problem. If there's sex is brought up, at that point I'm scared of you and I'm gonna leave. There's been a couple of situations where I didn't, where people wanted to get intimate with me and, you know, things just didn't work out. Yeah, I had a zipper issue. That wasn't pleasant. I was almost a 40-year-old virgin. Alright, so I don't remember what this video was originally supposed to be about because this guy, Michael Scott Wade, is typing at me and I'm trying to be inclusive and see what this guy's about. Here's the thing though. Did I get many what? He typed, did you get many? Anyway, I've only had sex twice. Once with Brianna Hernandez Cordona. And once with Rihanna Ingersoll. I did not enjoy either one. it doesn't help that I wasn't actually interested in having sex with either one to begin with. Explaining that to people is kind of weird too. You know how odd it is? There's things that when you do them, I am no longer comfortable around you. If you got actions that are not matching your words, like you're telling me, hey, Sean, I don't want to get intimate with you. Of course, she's not saying intimate. She's saying, Sean, I don't want to have sex with you. I'm like, I'm not trying to have sex. Then she starts rubbing her butt on me. And of course, I'm thinking of grannies and cheese graters. And she's like gyrating on. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. And then she just finally got fed up with me not getting the hint that what she was saying is what she's supposed to say, apparently. But I'm supposed to follow her actions, which is... Oh. And of course, she was so drunk she peed all over me. You know, I didn't used to be afraid to turn women down. But after turning Jamie Curtis down, and what she did, and that wasn't intentional, that was the zipper incident. I wasn't trying to insinuate that she was not attractive. I was bleeding. And I didn't want to tell her I was bleeding. It wasn't an embarrassed thing. It was I didn't want her to have to deal with that or listen to that or any of that. I just sat there with my equipment wrapped in toilet paper so it wouldn't keep on bleeding. Anyway, that story is neither here or there. Michael typed, why? It feels great. You know what? You have a different opinion than me. I was never interested in either one of these women. I was never interested in being physically intimate with either one of the women that I was physically intimate with. Matter of fact, after Brianna, I was not willing to try with anybody. And if it hadn't been for the situation where Amy Kingery's kids were in a... I would have left. You know, it wasn't just Jamie Curtis who treated me like shit when I turned her down. It was also... She only hit on me when she was drunk, okay? When we finally did almost get intimate, it was... She let me know beforehand that she wanted to be physically intimate with me, and she was going to drink some liquid courage, and then we were just going to do it. It's like, okay. And I went to the bathroom, and I zipped myself up. Pleasant. And she was cruel to me after that. And then after her, there was Crystal Beauchamp. Oh my God, this girl... 3 separate occasions I rescued her from dudes that were... She wasn't interested. She was letting them know that she wasn't interested. But she was too drunk to fight back. What did I do? I escorted her home. What did she do when we got to her house? Well, she felt that, apparently, like many women that I know, that she's obligated to give me sex for seeing her safely home. No, you're not obligated. Matter of fact, I'm not interested. So, what did Crystal Beauchamp do? A bunch of mean shit. Getting physically violent, scratched me in the head, hit me with shit, throwing stuff at me, screaming at me. Not then and there, of course. You know, I walked her just to the threshold. I did not cross it. I did what a gentleman is supposed to do. And she was thankful in the moment. Next time she saw me, she wasn't fucking happy. Wanted to treat me like shit, but then the next time, you know, it's... Crystal's fucking drunk again. There's some stupid college kids trying to force her into a vehicle. Alright. Dumbasses. And then, of course, she'd be thankful and she'd offer me sex again, and I'd turn her down again, and she'd be nice. And then when she'd see me again, she'd throw a fucking unholy hell of a fucking tantrum at me again. She even broke a bunch of her fingernails off on my head. It's dangerous to turn a woman down. Dangerous. It is hazardous to your life to turn a woman down. It is hazardous to your living situation. It is hazardous towards your safety and the safety of others. We all get to hear this saying, this real popular saying about a woman scorned. Well, whatever. It don't have to be a woman scorned. It can be a woman who's pissed off she didn't get what she wanted right when she wanted it. You get to hear from all of these women who procrastinated for months and 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 months. Lied out their fucking asses at me is what they did. They never made any actual effort to do what it is that they said they were going to do. To help me to turn these things in. To turn in the crimes against me. To show the truth. It needed to be in court, but without people going in with me. People giving me empty promises for literally months on end, and I'm having to move all the fucking time. I'm having to go stay with people who have been predatory towards me in the past. Because these people pretended to give a shit at the time. And what'd they do? Same shit they did in the past. The things that these people claimed that they did for me. Things that I claimed that they did for me as well. These people now want to pretend that I never gave them any credit for that. No, I absolutely did. You just didn't fucking care. You didn't pay any attention. If you're on my Facebook, I recommend typing your name in my YouTube channel. You might be on there. Although most of those people have already been informed. They're well aware. Michael Scott Wade typed, "I'm always on your Facebook, Sean." Well, that sounds kind of creepy. For what purpose? Anyway, the major issue here is that when you're an autistic adult, he types, "Just see what I'm up to." Well, that kind of seems like stalky behavior. He types, "Why are you screenshotting my messages?" So I can prove that they exist in case you decide to delete them, or if you become a troll and I delete them. And make sure I screenshot everything. Just like I went to your site already and took screenshots of it where you don't have any content. Michael Scott Wade types, "I'm not a troll. I'm the real Michael Scott." Well, my stepdad's name is Michael Scott Wade. He typed, "I have content, it's just private." Cool. The thing I need in all of these places is someone to make the calls with me and keep it up. keep making the calls with me. In the last 6 years, if I'd had somebody to help me to make these calls who lived in my immediate family, in my house, well, that's a lot easier to get something done. When you've got to depend on a depressed alcoholic like Dallas Richmond, who just, he got to the point where he just didn't want to go to work anymore. But there's also the fact that he didn't quit his job. He still went. His boss just didn't feel like he was apparently getting the motivation out of Dallas that he wanted. So Dallas didn't bother to get a job until after Harley got arrested drinking and driving with them kids in the vehicle. 5 children in the vehicle. She was drunk, and of course she was actually passed out and pulled over because she passed out. Passed out drunk. That's how bad she was. And that's because she was depressed because she was a fucking crazy stalker lady who wouldn't leave Dallas the fuck alone. And who is it that listened to Dallas? Dallas don't want to hear my problems. But Jesus fucking Christ, I got to listen to him bitch about Harley. He just wasn't bitching about the things she thought he was. I'm like, he doesn't mention none of that at all. He never talks about you. Not literally never talks about you, but I was trying to remember exactly how I'd worded that, but I already had half the sentence out. Anyway, Michael Scott Wade typed Harley Quinn. No, Harley Richmond. That's Dallas Richmond's ex-wife. All right, Michael Scott Wade retracted a message. Well, Michael Scott Wade, if you're not a troll and you're willing to listen and share evidence or make calls with me, any of those help. YouTube deleted your message. I believe that. There it goes, right after the messages disappear. That means that my phone is getting pretty full, it's getting pretty hot, and I probably should end the video. Anyway, I'm not a big pothead. I'm not actually a big fan of pot. I fought to get it legal for a reason. I know the medical benefits. I have experienced the medical benefits. However, I'm not one of those people who can go out and get stoned all the time. Michael Scott Wade typed, yeah, sure, I would love to keep in contact. What's your email or any socials to keep in contact? Well, you said you're on my Facebook. Also, doggedroman@gmail.com. DOGGEDROMAN@gmail.com. The most important at all this is to make phone calls. Make phone calls. Make phone calls to the police stations. Make phone calls to the Department of Health and Human Services. Make calls to the Nebraska Attorney General's office. The reason that I was blown off by all these places is because I was repeatedly forced to turn these things in by myself. This is not only illegal, it's also immoral as all hell. Anyway, good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. And remember, you are your brother's keeper. No victim left behind.